Everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's lesson objective. So today we will place whole number fractions and fractions between whole numbers on the number line. So the teaks we'll be focusing on today are 3.3a, 3.3b, 3.3g, 3.3h, and 3.7a. All right, let's go ahead and first take a look at what is a number line. So a number line is a line with evenly spaced tick marks to show the position of a number in relation to other numbers. So here is an example of number line. Okay, so we can see here we have different numbers over here and they're all evenly spaced. So each of our tick marks, our large ones, are labeled at 5. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20. So we can do number lines in a variation of different ways. But today we're going to make number lines with fractions and whole numbers. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look over here. So it says locate 2/3 on a number line. Now over here, I have a line already drawn for us, and I'm going to go ahead and label one side over here a 0. So the smaller number is always going to be on the left, and then as we go to the right, our number is going to get bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and label one side with a 0, one endpoint, and then the other side, I'm going to go ahead and put down 1. Okay, now I want to locate 2/3 on a number line. So if I have a number line and I want to locate 2/3, I know that 2/3 is going to be one whole partitioned into 3 parts. So if I use a strip diagram over here and I partition this into 3 equal parts, this whole part is going to be 1/3, and then we have 2/3, and then we have 3/3. So in the same way that we use strip diagrams, we are going to do the same thing with a number line. So I'm going to go ahead and partition my number line into 3 equal parts. So there's 1. We're going to pretend it's kind of like a strip diagram, and there's 2. So over here, we have 1 equal part here, as we can see, and then we have another part. Now at the tick mark, I have to go ahead and label it as 1/3. Because until we get to this tick mark, we are not at 1/3. All of the space in between is less than 1/3, but on the number line, on this tick mark, we have 1/3. Now, if I go to the next tick mark, it's going to be 2/3, because from 0 to this point right here is 2/3. Now, what about if I go all the way over to 1? So 1 is 1 whole, or it's the equivalent of having 3/3. So on our number line, this tick mark right here can either be 3/3 or 1 whole. They are equivalent. So if I'm trying to locate 2/3 on a number line, right here is going to be my 2/3. So that is my 2/3 position on the number line. All right, now what about if I have something a little bit bigger? I'm going to locate 7/3 on a number line. So I know that 7/3 is going to be greater than 1 whole, because 1 whole is equal to 3/3. So I'm going to start at my number line at 1, which is going to be equivalent to 3/3. Now, I'm not entirely sure how many thirds are going to be equivalent to 7/3. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go all the way up to 5. And now I'm going to put my whole numbers here. So I'm going to put down 2, which is a whole number over here. I'm going to put down 3, and I'm going to approximate. They're not going to be the exact same distance, but we're going to pretend. So now I have my whole numbers placed, right? But I want to find out how much is 7/3. So thirds is going to be talking to in relation to a whole. So in between 1 and 2, that part is 1 whole. So I now need to partition. I'm going to change this to right. I'm going to partition in between 1 and 2 into 3 equal parts. So there's 1, 2. So now I have 1, 2, 3 equal sections in between 1 and 2. So now I know at this point right here, this is going to be 4/3 because at 1 we have 3/3. Then I have 5/3. Then I have 6/3. Okay, so I know that 6/3 is going to be greater than 2. So let's go ahead and partition our space in between 2 and 3 into 3 equal parts. So there's 1 and there's 2. 3 equal parts, right? So now let's go ahead and label our tick marks. So 2 is 6/3. So that means the next part is going to be 7/3. Then we have 8/3. And then 3 is going to be 9/3. Okay, so we need to find 7/3, and I see we have 7/3 right here, right? So that is going to be the spot that we are going to go ahead and mark as 7/3. And we can also see from here that 7/3, because we have 2 wholes at 7/3 plus one more third. So another way of saying 7/3 is 2 and 1/3. This is the spot that we want to locate, and that's how we label it on a number line. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and go over today's lesson objective. So today we placed whole number fractions and fractions between whole numbers on the number line. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope this was a helpful lesson, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.